Hey, what's going on, guys? Optum here with my very first After Effects tutorial. I understand that it doesn't fit the entire screen. My monitor is not 720 or 1080p. It's not a 16:9 aspect ratio monitor because that one broke. But I'll work on getting a new one whenever I have the money. But anyway, I do have a wrist that I just had surgery on, so I'll only be using one hand, but I should be able to get done fairly quick nonetheless. But yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and get into this tutorial. First, we're going to go ahead and we're going to import a song and a photo of something, I don't know. I'm just going to use Virtual Riot, where is it, Energy Drink, because I know it one's copyright free. And I'm going to go ahead and just go find a logo real quick. I believe I have one in my Importante folder. Let's see. Wait, no, important, where is it? Over here. I've got a lot of crap in here, a lot of old stuff. This is a PNG. I'll just go ahead and use Captain. This is a guy that I made a audio reaction for one time. So now we've got that set up. Let's go ahead and make a new composition. I'm going to leave it at 10 seconds for the sake of the tutorial. And I'm going to call this reaction. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and make a white solid for my BG since this logo is black. I'm going to call it BG. Make it the same size. And I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop both my logo and my song. Position. Move it up. Maybe rotate it to the side a little. There we go. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do before we get into anything else is we're going to right click. And this is where all of our effect is going to come from for the most part. We're going to right click it. Right click your song. Keyframe Assistant, convert to audio keyframes. What this is going to do is it's going to make a null object titled audio amplitude. If you click on the effects controls, you'll see it has a left, right, and both channels. We're only going to be working with the both channels, so you don't need this. You're going to hit E on it. You're going to click the drop down arrow, and you're going to click the slider. Also, if you want to, look at the keyframes more accurately, you can select the graph editor, and it shows all of it. So now you're going to alt-click the slider, and that's going to allow you to edit this white box down here. We're going to type in an expression called linear value, or linear parentheses value, comma, 0, 0, 0, 0, close. This is without any editing to the actual expression itself. This is just what it basically does is these first two values right here, they're the keyframe range that you're going to be using, or the frequency or whatever you want to call it. And this is going to be the values of the effect that we're going to have react to those keyframes. So now we're going to go ahead and select a range of keyframes. Typically I use the base, so I'm going to go ahead and go with 20. I'm just going to go with 20 to 30. That's a okay range, and besides, it's just a tutorial. It's not like I'm actually doing something for somebody. And we're gonna mess with the second values here in a moment whenever we pick the actual effect we're gonna be using. For the first effect, which you can basically do this with any effect that affects like a picture. Like I'm gonna be using the bulge effect for this tutorial. You can do this with just about any other effect, as long as it affects the image. If it affects the image, it'll definitely it'll look pretty good every time. So I'm only going to make it about, I'll just make it about the size of the entire thing. Alright. And we're going to go ahead and alt-click the bulge height. And we're going to pick whip it, which is this little swirly right here. And we're going to drop it onto the slider. Now we're going to go ahead and edit the amount of the bulge height right here. So I'm going to leave the first one at 0, so it's not constantly bulged, because the first is what it's going to look like whenever it's not reacting to a keyframe. And I'm going to set this to 0.2 or 0.3. I'll just go with 0.3 because that's what I use whenever I'm using this. So if you look as we scroll through, it's bumping to the base. So let's go ahead and do a quick render of that. So if we go ahead and look at this real quick, it's reacting to the song, which is really cool because you didn't even have to use sound keys, because sound keys you have to pay for, this you don't. So that's pretty much it for this tutorial. I think the last thing I'll do is go ahead and add a audio spectrum, show you guys how to make a radial audio spectrum. But if that's all you want to know, there you go. You can do that with any other effect. Like, let's go ahead and do it with a radial fast blur, which is another thing that I like to use. You can also do it with a glow. Let's go ahead and you're going to make another one of these. I'm going to go ahead and hit this, delete both in left and right channels, hit E, drop down, alt click slider, linear value, what was it, 20, 30, 0, 0, oh, no, 0, 0, close that. Captain, go ahead and use a radial fast blur, standard, set that to brightest. Ooh, no, standard was better. Again, this is just for the sake of the tutorial. Go ahead and alt click that, pick whip it. We're going to go ahead and set it to 0, 40. So for every effect, you're gonna have to make another audio amplitude, unlike sound keys where you can have multiple selected onto one. Sadly, this effect is a little more manual than sound keys, so you're gonna have to deal with actually like making a new one every single time. You can rename them to keep yourself organized, but since this is just a tutorial, I'm not really gonna go into any more detail. And I guess that's it. If this is all you wanted to know, you can go ahead and close out this video. That was it for the actual effect tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and make an audio spectrum in case some of you guys don't know how to make one of those, but it's pretty simple actually. But this is what it looks like with the bulge and the radial fast blur. I think that's a really cool looking reaction right there. Let's go ahead and turn some back on. And for the most part, it's reacting just to the bass, or to the low end of the song. Now, one more thing I forgot to mention, most of the low end sounds of the song, or the low end frequencies, are at the top, not the bottom. I figured that out whenever I was working on an audio reaction for my friend, and I was like, oh dude, well if it's lower it has to be down here. I found out this is actually the higher pitched frequencies down here and the lower pitched frequencies up here. So make sure if you're wanting it to react to bass, it's up here. If you're wanting it to react to like kick snares and stuff like that, it's about right here, and the higher end frequencies are down here. So yeah, that's it. Now let's go ahead and make a new solid. This is for the audio spectrum part. You don't have to continue from here if that's all you want to know. I'm going to go ahead and call this audio spectrum. The color of the solid does not matter because it's not going to be showing anyway. So got that set up. Then I'm going to type in the effects and presets audio spectrum. Go ahead and drag and drop. And then we're going to go to this audio layer right here and set that to virtual right energy drink. And if you scroll through, you can see that it's showing the song as we scroll. So we're going to go ahead and set this to actually 10 and 500. I've been told that's like the professional range or whatever, I don't know. We're going to go ahead and set the max band or frequency bands to 5,000. I'm going to change the color to, I guess, green, just because I can. Go ahead and set this to B. And I'm going to show you how to make it radial as well. There are actually two ways you can do this, but I typically use this way because it's a bit better. It's a lot more easy. You're going to go ahead and click on the center of it with the ellipse tool. You're going to hold down Control, Alt, and Shift, and it's going to make a perfect circle. So there we go. Make sure you have the mask set to none, and then you're going to set the path right here to mask 1, and that's going to make it radial. So, but yep, there we go. Here, let me go ahead and move the spectrum behind the logo. Go ahead and do that rendering again, do the render part. But there you go. That's how you get anything to react to audio. This is a good way to start out on After Effects if you're wanting to do audio reactions and things like that. This is a very simple effect. You don't have to pay anything for it other than After Effects itself. And I hope you guys enjoyed.